So, hi everyone, welcome to the orientation of the Deep Thought program. So today we'll be talking about what do we mean by student unicorn? Who are the student unicorns and how can you be a student unicorn? And why Deep Thought is looking for youngsters like you who can be student unicorns is what we'll be discussing. And we'd have an extensive Q&A so you understand the selection process, you understand the training process. And in case you're interested, you can go ahead with the selection process and the training process. So, but before I start, I'd like to show, one video to you guys.
My job is to make college easier because students have a lot on their plates, like Harper.
India is a very beautiful country with a very interesting culture.
Is it audible?
Yes, it is audible.
Only country in the whole world to have achieved freedom through non-violence. Because India is different, India is driven by values and purpose. And perhaps it is these values and purpose which have driven the excellence of India over the last 75 years. Eric Schmidt, the executive chairman of Google, had said in 2013 that 40% of Silicon Valley startups were founded by people of Indian foreign origin. And he had questioned, what if these startups were founded in India itself? But then most Indian companies and students are just in pursuit of greed and money. Is this really being Indian? Because India has been the spiritual powerhouse of the world, questioning values, questioning the purpose of life and work. Well, there is promise because a few student unicorns have chosen to be lifelong learners, have chosen purpose in terms of life, learning and work. We at Deep Thought have been privileged to be mentoring some of these student unicorns as they're pursuing amazing projects at innovation startups which are not the back office of the world, but which are the creators of the new India. While today we see the 40% starting companies in the Silicon Valley, we hope by the time India turns 100, this student unicorns will be the new 40% who will be the shakers and movers of the Indian SaaS boomi, the new India which would hopefully be the innovation capital of the whole world.
I do not get in.
Yeah. So before we start the meet, I'd like to get a reactions of some of you. What do you feel after watching this video? Anyone? What do you feel after watching this video?
Hello.
Yeah, hi Albert, go ahead.
Okay. After watching this video, I feel that, yeah, it's right. Many of the Silicon Valley projects have started in India, but still, people move from this country to other country for their startups and all, for getting money, and yeah, sort of a kind of greedy mind. And also, it should be changed. The society should change the view so that everyone who has a will to create a new industry can also start up from the country. So in order to make India first.
Okay. So this was Albert's reaction. Anyone else? All of you, please make sure that your video is consistently on. The ones whose videos are off would be removed from the meet. Please make sure your video is consistently on. Yeah. Anyone else? What's your reaction after watching this video? Anyone else? Come on, people. Go ahead with your reaction. Anyone else wants to share what you feel after watching this video? Okay, this is one of the things to change in India.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, myself Gopika.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I feel proud because a lot of young people have a lot of innovations as well as new ideas to bring up in our country and associate it and implement it into our country. Unfortunately, it is sadly I just want to say that many people are not implementing it and getting the and they are having new ideas, but they are not implementing it, and they are going to another places like US and all to make it more comfortable and all.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. So I think both of you mentioned that people are going somewhere else and starting companies there. I think it's not just about people going there. Let's understand one thing. More than 90% of India is not capable of doing this. Very few Indians who have that innovation potential are the ones who are actually able to do this. The problem is not whether they've done it in Silicon Valley or they've done it in India. The problem is not whether they've done it in India or whether they've done it in Silicon Valley. The problem is, are we having that innovation mindset? One fundamental problem with the attitude of students in India today is most of the students in India today are perhaps, able to work for service companies, but may not suit in product innovation environments. I mean, today, see, India, the video said India is being a back office of the world. Perhaps you guys, I'm not sure if you overlooked it. What did that sentence mean? Back office of the world?
It's like a factory, or it's like the origin.
We're doing the less valuable stuff, right? So, US wants to get something done at a low cost. They're like, okay, let's get it done in Bangalore. Let's not do it in New York. Let's do it in Bangalore. So now I would like to ask all of you, the Gen Z, is this what India is capable of? Or is India capable of doing something much bigger?
Yes, India can do bigger.
Okay. So Deep Thought as a company, what we do is we help a lot of product innovation companies. We have 4 clients with us right now. Kringle.ai, which is a MarTech innovation company. Gropital, which is an agri-tech company. IPX Club, which is a fintech company. And Creative Organics, which is a pharma company. So for these companies, what we do is we identify youngsters with a research and innovation potential. Because unfortunately, what has happened is maybe only 1% of Indian students, have it in them to be able to contribute in an innovation environment. Now, let me add some context to this. I was talking to a student placement officer, a student who's in the placement cell trying to get placements for her batchmates and so on. She was telling us that her biggest problem as a student placement officer is students do not have a genuine purpose or passion or why they want to do a job. The main reason why they want to do a job is because they want to get a good CTC. And when she's getting some innovation companies into the college, none of them is able to clear the selection process. So let me tell you guys something. If you're here to get an internship for a resume mention, probably you're in the wrong place. If your motivation is, okay, I want something on my resume. Okay, it's something boring, but let me listen to it and let me get some internship, get some resume, get some job, get some dowry and all of that, wrong place. And this is how most of Indians think, right? But if you think you're in that 1% who wants to be innovative, who wants to create genuine value, I think we're looking for you. Okay. So I'll spend the next 5 minutes. Running through this, a little presentation about student unicorns. And I'll also talk about the selection process that we've got. And after that, I think we'll spend good amount of time on a Q&A. Okay. So I'll quickly take you through a presentation on student unicorns. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah. So one of the big problems for startups in India is most startups do not have good second level and third level leadership. Second level and third level leadership. Why? Because most Indians are not good leaders. Because our Indian education system trains us to become individual contributors rather than be leaders. But when a new organization comes up, it's very important to have that second level and third level leadership. So what we do for these 4 clients of ours is we identify those youngsters who can become future innovation leaders within a year or 2. Because in the Deep Thought ecosystem, meet these 2 youngsters, Pooja, who's in her 3rd year of BTech right now, and Shagun, who just finished her 4th year of BTech. They both joined us as interns in April of 2022. They were beginners with JavaScript. Today, both of them lead a 15-member team at Deep Thought. While most people of their age are just happy getting a job, these people have already progressed to be able to lead a team and guide a team in terms of how they can start their tech journey. So yeah, we are a company which is funded by 5 educationists and 3 technologists. The reason why our investors are backing us is because they believe the most important social work you can do in this world is to create leaders. And Deep Thought is a company which is trying to build those innovation leaders. Yeah, this is my article in case you guys want to check it out. Indian Academy of Sciences published this article in 2018, where I said, if our Indian education system doesn't change, most of our youngsters will be unemployable. Most of our youngsters will be unemployable if our education system doesn't change. I wrote it in 2018. Feel free to check it out on Indian Academy of Sciences website. And so now we are tying up with colleges, which is how we got in touch with Mr. Murli Krishna for an association with AWH College. And the reason why we're tying up with colleges is what has happened is most of the college students are losing motivation in studying. Although I think colleges try their best to motivate students, I think that motivation is sort of being lost. So we are trying to set up this center of excellences in colleges purely on a voluntary basis without charging anything to the students, without charging anything to the college, to identify those youngsters who have the drive in them and to motivate them. So what happens in the center of excellence? In case you are selected by us in the selection drive, then you will be trained on some of these modules on technology, on leadership, on innovation, and so on. And you'll be able to guide your batchmates, motivate your batchmates, through peer-to-peer learning workshops. Because I think, the greatest mode of learning in 21st century is peer-to-peer learning, right? Where you're able to inspire your peers. Your peers can also explain things to you in a simple way, which is more relatable to you. So this is what we're trying to do across colleges, 10 colleges all over India. So what Deep Thought trains youngsters on is 5 areas. One is self-learning. What are the various ways in which you can, learn to learn and thus be able to learn by yourself? Behavioral acumen, how do you understand your emotions? How do you understand the emotions of others? How do you understand various business and technology concepts so that whenever you take any product, you're able to understand the product by understanding the larger business context of the product. And when you're building a new product, right, which is not a copy-paste product, most of Indian service industry makes copy-paste products. But when you're trying to, work in a product environment, you're trying to make something which is very new. So how do you execute those new sort of ideas? I think we teach you some concepts there. And the last part is how do you align your values with the organizational values so that, that also adds on to your personality in the long run. So we look for youngsters with learnability, people who are willing to learn, who have the ability to learn by themselves, people with growth mindset. As in, see, people with fixed mindset say, I don't know this. People with growth mindset say, I'll figure it out. So I'll figure it out kind of people, the ones with growth mindset and the ones who are aligned with this overall idea. Not the ones who are coming for a certificate or a stipend, but the ones who are coming because you want to grow as a leader and you want to grow as an innovator. So these are the ones we pick up through our selection process. So we're tying up with colleges. So after this talk is done, you'll be put through a selection process. And after the selection process is done, you'll be put through a training process. And once the training is done, then you can actually, get into selection process of our clients, and if you get through, you get an internship with the client. So now there are two models. There are two models in which we are engaging with you. Model number one, you guys, I think you guys have already completed the first part, which is the reflection questionnaire. So the second segment, the link is already given to you, where you're given one link and you're asked to submit the role specific assignment for whichever role you're interested in. Once you complete the role specific assignment, then you're given video reflection, then you're invited for an observation process. And if you clear this entire behavioral selection process, we're directly happy to offer you an internship in one of our client companies. That's model number one. Model number two is there are a lot of people who find our selection process to be confusing. So in case you're finding the selection process to be challenging, you can take the easier selection process. In the easier selection process, what we do is we give you a lot of learning challenges and you complete the learning challenges. If we are convinced that you're a sincere and genuine learner, then we give you 15 days of training. And after the 15 days of training, you can attempt the selection process, because in the 15 days of training, you'll be able to acquire the kind of mindsets that are required in an innovation setup. Now, before you guys go in with questions, I'd like to tell you something. On Internshala, when we put our posts, about 3,000 people applied. And last month, we picked up about 20 people. Out of 3,000, we picked up about 20 people. And most people, when, as a research study, we called up a few people just to understand, whether they understood the selection process. We realized most people would not even understand the selection process. Because we come from India has such a proud school education system, right? Where we read guides and pass exams. So when an innovation oriented, selection process is put out, most people don't even care to read the entire documentation properly. But in an innovation setup, companies expect you to read the documentation, understand the documentation, and then go into execution. Because what happens when people don't read documents and people don't clarify? People go into assumptions, and when people go into assumptions, they crash the backend. Or they crash the application in some way or the other by going into assumptions. So this is why I think a selection process is not completely skill-based. A selection process is a behavioral selection process, as when we assess your personality more than your skill set. We assess your personality more than your skill set. We assess whether you have the genuine purpose over why you're doing it, right? And if you ask me, how do you assess it? We look at multiple parameters through the selection process. And I think, I kind of tell this in multiple platforms, like how a typical Indian middle-class mother can look at a lady's finger, twist it, and tell the quality of the lady's finger. For the last 10 years, I've developed this ability to look into the eyes of a youngster and tell whether the youngster is genuine or not. Is that person coming for a certificate, or is that person coming to really learn something? I look into the eyes and say, because the person who's passionate, in the eyes, you can see that spark. The person who's not passionate, you see that, the face is frustrated, irritated, and all of that. Just look at people and you know what I'm talking about. So this is exactly why our clients sign up with us. Because any recruiter can conduct an exam and see the marks in exam. But end of the day, see, even if your marks are 7 on 10 and somebody's marks are 9 on 10, but if you're passionate, within 2-3 months, you'll overtake that 9 on 10 person in a corporate setup. This is the big problem in India, that most people don't want to do a job and they get frustrated after going into the job. So what we are doing for our clients is identifying people who are truly passionate, who are truly driven by a purpose, and then put them into the company, and this intensive training which is given, so that you're able to emerge as a very good innovator within a product setup. So this is, I think, a rough overview of what we're trying to do. Now I shall stop, and I'm very happy to take your questions. It will be a largely interactive session. So please unmute yourself and go ahead with your questions. Those of you who are joining us live via YouTube, you can also send your questions via YouTube. You're also listening to questions via YouTube. Please unmute.
So good evening, Tarun.
Good evening, Mr. Murali Krishna.
Yeah. So thank you for giving our students an opportunity to have this orientation session. I hope the other students will be joining in the YouTube link itself. Okay.
Absolutely. We did WhatsApp the YouTube link to all of them. So.
Yeah, okay. I also shared them. So when I looked into the your timing and all, the timing was from 5 to 9, right?
Correct.
So one of the problem that we we may face is our college timing is till 4:30. So, how can whether there will be any relaxation in the timing, like whether we can shift from 5 instead of 5 to 9, whether we can have from 6 to 10 like that?
Yeah, so
Is
Mr.
it possible?
Yeah, so Mr. Murli, one of our clients, IPX Club is okay with a flexible schedule in the sense that 6 to 9 is mandatory, and another 1 hour they can do it at their own convenience, whether they want to do it early morning or late night, it's up to them. So yeah, if we like a candidate, then IPX Club is happy to consider them for 6 to 9 plus 1 hour flexible.
Okay. So I think most of the students would have joined the first WhatsApp group. So what will be the next step? Whether what they need to do?
Yeah, so Mr. Murli, I'll definitely answer the questions, but I think I would appreciate if the students can come up with their questions. We'd like to have a interactive session with the students.
Okay. Fine.
I'm happy to answer your questions also, but I thought it'd be nice if we can take the students' questions.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because the students will be having more type of other questions also, because they will be eager to know how this internship will be working and all.
Correct, Mr. Murli. So those of you who have questions, please unmute yourself and go ahead and ask your questions. So you heard the presentation, right? So if you have some questions, you can ask your questions. And let me tell you guys something, innovation and curiosity always go together. You do not have questions, then probably we're not interested in you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi, Anandu.
I'm Anand. Okay. Actually, I completed my first step for the persona. I don't know how to complete the second step. There is some confuse over there.
Okay. So, Anandu, I mean, we'll definitely answer all your questions regarding the selection process. But before that, any questions related to the whole concept which was explained to you? I mean, open to anyone here and even those who are watching it via YouTube. Apart from the selection process, any questions that you have regarding the ideas presented to you so far? Okay, let me take. Go ahead. Go ahead. Who was it? Somebody was asking a question.
Hello.
Yeah, Gautam, please go ahead.
So I want to know that how we can make people like a normal. You said earlier that our educational system should need improvement. So how we can make it possible? Purely online sessions, I don't think pure online sessions are much effective. So how can we improve this abilities of youngsters?
So, Gautam, I have a simple point. Today, you have access to the internet, don't you? That's how you're connecting with me right now.
Yeah.
Do you know that world's best universities have uploaded a lot of their content for free on YouTube? Professor Patrick Winston, one of the best teachers in the world, he used to teach at MIT. His course on artificial intelligence is available for free for anybody to go and watch on YouTube. Today, there are plenty of opportunities for youngsters to go and learn something if the youngster really wants to learn something. Gautam, let me tell you something. Last year, there was one boy called Shubham. There's a boy called Shubham Bhattacharjee. He was in his 12th grade. He applied to us for an internship. He applied to us for an internship in 12th grade. He joined us as a backend developer with Node.js. Backend developer with Node.js. He cleared the assignments on the website. He cleared a tougher assignment than the ones he saw on the website. A 12th grader. Today, last month he joined his first year college. First year college he joined last month. Today you know his tech stack: Node.js, React, JavaScript. Node.js, React.js, React Native, vanilla JavaScript. He can work on 4 languages. The problem is today most of Indian youngsters find excuses, but the people who are self-learners, are able to use these opportunities and really grow themselves. And you know, Gautam, the fundamental problem lies here. In school, why did we study? To get marks. In college, why are we studying? To get placement. Why are we getting placement? To get salary. But do we have a strong purpose over why we are doing all of this? So, Gautam, there are 2 ways of thinking, okay? There are 2 ways of thinking. One is transactional way, another is transformational way. There is transactional thinking, transformational thinking. What is transactional thinking? By doing this course, what will I get? What is transformational thinking? How can I transform myself by using this course? In India, are people interested in education or are people interested in coaching?
Basically, coaching.
What will coaching do? Produce people who are good for nothing. Hindustan Times survey, more than 80% of BTech graduates are unemployable. More than 90% of MBA graduates are unemployable. Why is it that most students are unemployable? College can't do anything if the student mentality is like this, no?
Yeah.
If our objective is to learn, there are fantastic opportunities which are available. I'll give you a simple point, Gautam. Today, I spoke about innovation. I spoke about the economy. When I discussed an idea, after discussing the whole idea, everybody is having a question of how do I get selected? What are they? Transactional questions. What do I do? But you asked a question, how to become innovative? That's a transformational question. So one of the first things which we can do if we want to grow, from the same system Satya Nadella came out, from the same system Sundar Pichai came out. If we want to grow as innovators, what we can do is stop being transactional and start being transformational. What can I learn here? Can I discuss ideas? When someone is sharing an idea with you, can you ask a question around the idea? The moment we are interested in ideas, the moment we are interested in discussing ideas, the transformation starts there. But appreciate in case you guys have any more questions about the broader concept itself. Selection process, I'll explain again selection process.
We have a question from YouTube.
Okay, questions from YouTube. Please
Yes.
mute.
Hello?
Yeah, Albert, please go ahead.
Okay, you said the way of coaching is not the perfect. The traditional way of teaching in India is not the right way of making leaders, right?
Right.
So even though everyone knows about it, why the society is not changing or the government is not changing the study process?
What does the government do? What people want? No.
Yeah, people want. Yeah,
What do people want?
people want.
Coaching.
Not all of them, but still.
People want coaching.
Yeah, the basic concept of education system is like that.
So how can we change this?
So why we can't change that?
We can change it. That's why we are here. That's why we are talking. That's why Mr.
Okay. We can also do that from the lower level also. After graduate, what we say. In our mother tongue, there's a chol, means there's a proverb which means molele cheyanna means only kalanakku parayile. So which means you should do something from the lower level itself. So why want to try from someone who is from the lower level, which
So
means
Albert, let me tell you something.
from the basic education system itself. Why?
Okay. If you give
Yeah. Okay.
you give me 100 million, we'll do it from school level itself. Okay. That was a joke.
Yeah, I was expecting it. Yeah.
That was a joke. But let me tell you. I started teaching at the age of 16.
Uh-huh.
I started teaching at the age of 16, 15 years back.
Okay.
I was in my class 11 when I started teaching school kids.
Yeah. Okay.
In the year 2011, when I was a second year student, in the year 2011 when I was a second year, I started an organization called Science.
Yeah. Okay.
We were teaching school kids.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we have been working with school students for the last 11 years. But the problem is Indian parents don't understand this. But when I went to IPX, Kringle and Gropital, they said, "Arey, I don't want this crap. I want people who are passionate. I want people with a purpose." So what am I doing right now? Parents don't want to pay for this education for their kids. They want coaching. I said, "Arey, I don't want to deal with these parents. Indian parents will never change." Instead, whom am I dealing with? Companies, product innovation companies, because they know that with these robots, with these donkeys, we can't produce world-class products. So they are paying Deep Thought. They are paying Deep Thought 5,000 rupees per month for giving this kind of teaching to youngsters from topmost colleges, from good colleges all over India. So if you are selected in our program, our client pays Deep Thought 5,000 per month to train you. I earn my money from my client. But if I go to an Indian parent and say, "Pay me this money for this program," the Indian parent is not interested. I've got 5 school leaders as investors. Indian parent is not interested. So in case you guys are interested, in case you guys are serious, we've got a selection process. You clear that selection process. What will happen? You will go through this training program through which you can grow as an innovator. You can learn how to take complicated topics, break them down, and how to produce world-class products. So we are right now grooming people for 4 different roles, 4 roles. One is full stack software development. Second is growth hacking. What is growth hacking? I'll explain in a while. Third is product management, and fourth is data science. We're trying to find youngsters who are interested in these 4 areas, and through our learning modules, which are around those 5 areas, right? Learnability, behavioral intelligence, business tech acumen, and so on. We train you so that you're able to learn these complicated topics and also grow as leaders. Now, what is growth hacking? So Albert, today what is happening is a lot of good digital products are being created globally. Digital products. Now, when digital products are created, the marketing is also being done digitally. And the beauty of doing your marketing digitally is you produce a lot of data. By seeing the data, you can be very intelligent in whom you're reaching out to and how you're reaching out. For example, today, what did Sandhya do? Sandhya sent you a message through a MarTech application called Vati. So you got a WhatsApp message in your inbox. And that message also has a button, "I will attend." Through that, we know how many of them said they will attend and how many of them attended. And on a WhatsApp group, we ask you to type join. So we also get to know at what time who joined, whose video was off, whose video is on. So when you have technology, what happens? You can measure behavior of people. So your marketing can become more intelligent. You can acquire users faster. You can grow your company faster. This is growth hacking. How you can multiply the usage of your platform and how you can multiply the revenues of your platform using technology very quickly. That's growth hacking. And there's a huge potential for growth hacking globally. Third area, of course, is product management. Product management is like, over the last 10 years, I think we're seeing a huge demand for product management. Because again, when you're building so many new products, companies need product managers who are like the creators who are able to bring those ideas together. And because the developer codes, but the overall vision, driving the product towards that vision is what a product manager does. So in case you like technology but don't like coding, if you like technology but don't like coding, product management is something which you guys may want to start exploring. And fourth, of course, data science. Data science is where I think you're interested in stories and you're interested in numbers. So you see a story and from that story, you get an insight and then you bring in mathematics to exploit that insight and improve the business, right? So that's in a nutshell what data science is about, where you understand the story from the business perspective and you also understand the mathematics to execute that insight and drive more business, right? So these are the areas where we help youngsters with. So I hope this answers the other question which came in, is mindset alone enough? Mindset alone is not enough. I think you've got to learn how to learn. And you've got to learn some of these concepts like execution, learn these concepts like behavioral intelligence, how you understand your emotions, emotions of others, and as a result, conduct yourself better in how you face different situations. Situation handling is a very important aspect of being an innovation leader, situation handling. So these 5 key areas which we presented in our presentation talk about, I think, what is essential for you to grow as an innovation leader. What are the 5 key areas? Learnability, which is learning to learn. Execution, which is if you have an idea, how do you go and execute it. Third is values. So that how do you understand your own personal value system and align your value system with the company's value system? Rather than saying I'll work for anybody who will pay me money, I'll work for somebody whose value system matches my value system. And so learnability, execution, value system, BizTech acumen, understanding of business, understanding of technology, so that your product makes much more sense to you. And 5th one is behavioral acumen, how you understand emotions of yours and others. So I think once you understand these 5 areas, you're more likely to grow as an innovation leader. Okay, next question. I hope I've answered all the questions on YouTube comments as well. Next question. I will definitely explain the selection process, but before that, I'd like to take your questions. Let's question the idea, so we explore the idea. We learn more when we explore through questions, right? So go ahead and shoot your questions. Questioning is key to innovation. Go ahead, shoot your question. Okay, let's do one thing. I think let's keep a count, right? Who asked how many questions? So Albert, I think your count is a 2, right? And Gopika's count is 1 and Anandu's count was 1.
Yeah.
Okay, who wants to go in with the question? Okay, is product management only in IT related areas? Question from Nitin. Okay, so no, product management is not just in IT areas. So let's understand, why does a company even get into product management, right? What is product management? So either if I'm a company, I'm either structured as a service or I'm structured as a product. Okay, now let's say I'm a very good teacher, right? And I can take classes and people come and pay me for my classes. Then I'm structured like a service, right? How can I become a product instead? I'm taking classes, people pay me per hour for classes and I take classes for them. How can I do this like a product instead of a service? Can make a book. I can make a video recording and sell that video recording. What is the advantage of a video recording over a live class?
Yeah, it can be viewed next time. It can be seen in high quality and without stuck or lag. Yeah, that's all.
It can reach more people.
Yeah, sure.
So products are more scalable. Now, let us say, so now again, if you look at a pharma company which is making some medicines, even that's a product, right? Once you figure out how to make a product, you can make more and more copies of the product and sell them, and it's very scalable. As compared to services, products are a lot more scalable. Let me give you an example. There's a lawyer I'm talking to. This lawyer wants to create a product where on her website, people can come and get some basic, agreements and all auto-generated through an AI and so on. So there's an web app through which people can download agreements. Why does she want to create a product? Because if she's a lawyer, if she's giving a service, she can only give service to few people. But if she's creating an AI which can actually create those, agreements and make people download, she can service millions of people across the world, right? This is the power of products. So products are not limited to IT alone. Pharmaceutical company also manufactures products, educational products, books, and books are educational products. So there are also products outside the IT scope. But in the IT scope, products are more interesting. Or you look at IoT products, right? Like where you have intelligent devices. So like let's say devices which are able to measure your vitals, your body vitals, so that they can send a report to the doctor or how your health is doing. That's a product. So IoT is, I think, another very interesting area, which is digital, but also there is the device aspect, which is actually grabbing the information and so on. So products need not be computer driven, but the whole aspect of building a product, right? I mean, if you have a service, building a product, you do that because products are very scalable. Products can reach a lot of people globally. But if you're a service company, what are you focused on? I get one customer, I give a service, I'm done. But if you're a product company, you want to make that one same thing which can be used by so many people. So it needs more abstract thinking to make one abstract entity which can work for 1,000 instances. It needs, more deeper thinking in that sense. So product mindset is a little different from operating in a service setup. But yes, product management is not just in computer oriented area. Yeah. Next question, whoever has a question, please go ahead.
Sir, you have told that AI is is good for, like, they are coming with the products and they are also helping the human beings also, but it making more unemployment, right?
Which is very good for humanity.
Yeah, it's good for humanity, but it's also causing some of the unemployment. So we have to do something for that also, right? We have to make it balanced.
We've got to teach people how to innovate so that they can do something which an AI can't. Today, see, I'll tell you something. In the BPO industry, there were a lot of call center jobs 10 years back. Today, you don't have those many call center jobs. Why? Who's doing the job of a call center?
AI.
Specifically? Do you use Swiggy?
Yes.
So in Swiggy, let's say your food doesn't come on time. Who serves your complaint?
That's a AI, right?
Chatbot, right?
Yes.
So today what has happened is, see, in BPO jobs, people were doing donkey work. And were they doing good donkey work? They were getting frustrated, not handling queries properly. Your chatbot on Swiggy probably does a better job than a human who's not that serious about the job. So I think what we need is, we need to create a lot more jobs. I mean, the jobs will get created, but we need to groom people so that they're able to innovate, they're able to do things which an AI can't. AI can't do creative stuff. AI can do mechanical stuff. AI can do repetitive stuff. And that's where it'll beat a human any day. And there's enormous potential to create AIs in different fields. And you need someone to create that AI, right? So that job is not going away anymore.
But still, there is a question. You say that AI cannot make themselves, right? So what if something came like in Indian movie, which AIs create some of their own bots?
No, there are some of the cases also, right?
Yeah, there are some of the cases that they make contact between each other.
Needed. And yeah.
I understand. So
I appreciate the fact that you guys watch a lot of movies. Even I watch a lot of movies.
not only about the movies, but there are some.
There is a case, sir.
In Australia, in a factory with two single-arm bots who talk themselves in some other language which human being doesn't know, and they download something to make something as like a robot or something from the satellite or internet. And finally, the authorities find that they are doing like this, so they shut down the unit, which was also kept as a secret and a conspiracy.
Albert, this is just a conspiracy theory. It's not
we don't have any proof on that, but still saying so. But Elon Musk also said that AI is one of the powerful, but against human beings. Yeah.
Albert, I have a lot of appreciation for Kerala for one reason. Kerala has high literacy rate, right? So fake news is a little less there.
Yeah, also
right? Because what you just told me is fake news.
Yeah, maybe fake news. I didn't go around behind that because I was in this.
But anyway, Albert, to answer your question, even if there's an AI which can create an AI, you need someone to create this AI which can create an AI.
Yeah.
See, because AI is not something like, there's a robot and that robot is going to have those divine powers and it makes something. There is a computer scientist. There's a computer scientist who comes up with a vision and then executes that vision to bring that AI into existence, be it a pure software or be it a software with hardware also involved. So these kind of, opportunities are definitely going to be there going forward, at least for the next 50 years.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Anybody else who has a question? Okay, you should start a university or an alternate board of education cause. So you can say that Deep Thought is like a university, just that the funders who are funding your education are companies because they're funding the education so that you can grow as an innovator there, right? So, but yes, as of now, only 100 students can study with us. So we are having a selection process to pick the 100 students. And the best part is while studying with us, you get to do an internship. So you don't have to pay for studying here, you get paid to study. Right? So yeah. Now, is Deep Thought platform improving our skills or making ourselves up for? So Jahangir, we don't believe in improving skills. Skills have an expiry date. Mindsets, are more permanent. So we believe in nurturing those kind of mindsets, which will help you, contribute more to the society and the economy. So it's about learning and development, right? Jobs will come down in coming years, not good for economy. I mean, that's exactly why I think we need more and more innovators who will be able to create new products, and new products will create more jobs. When you can make new products, those products can create more jobs. Yeah. Somebody asked, could you unlock the provision for Zoom? We don't, because at Deep Thought, we take punctuality very seriously. I hope you got my jibe right in the beginning where I said we're starting at 6 p.m. IST. So we take punctuality quite seriously at Deep Thought, and that's exactly why we locked the link. And in case you guys are applying to any professionally run organization, please take punctuality seriously. I know lockdown has made all of us lazy, but maybe it's time that we take a few things a little more seriously. Okay, so now in the interest of time, I'll be moving to the selection process. Please listen to me carefully. Please listen to me carefully. You have two selection process before you. A harder process, easier process. What is the harder process? What is the easier process? I'll explain. But first, let me explain why harder, why easier. If you take the harder process, you directly get an internship. Right? You take the harder process, you directly get an internship. That harder process goes on for 1 week. You take the easier process, it goes on for 3 days. The easier process goes on for 3 days. After the easier process, what we do is we give you 15 days of free training. We give you 15 days of free training if you take the easier process. After that 15 days of free training, then you guys can take the internship process again and then attempt it, and hopefully by then you will be in a position to clear that internship selection process and get through to the company. So in case you are attempting the JavaScript assignment and you're finding it difficult to do that JavaScript assignment, then you can take the easier selection process. How to take the easier selection process? Sandhya will send you guys a link by Tuesday evening. So in case you guys want to take the easier selection process, Sandhya will send you the link by Tuesday evening. You want to take the harder selection process? You're already in round 1 group. There we sent a message to everyone with this link. We sent you this link, I'm sending it in chat here again, www.deepthought.education/DT selection. We sent this link to you guys on the WhatsApp group. This link is a list of assignments. You can complete those assignments. Once you complete that assignments, there is 2 more rounds. And once you complete those 2 more rounds, that's when we decide to take you up for the internship. Why do we have so many rounds? We have those many rounds to see whether you're genuinely interested in learning. Because most Indian students are transactional, right? To find if you're transformational or not and not transactional, that's why we have this kind of selection process. So to explain it in a simple way, there's a harder process, there's easier process. In the harder process, you're being tested both on technical skills as well as behavior. In the easier process, you're being tested only on your learning attitude. But in the easier process, what happens? You first prove your learning attitude. Then you learn with us for 15 days. After learning with us for 15 days, then you are, given a technical assignment, and you clear the technical assignment followed by interview. Then you're directly given an internship. So these are the two processes. So in case you guys have questions, I'm happy to take your questions regarding the selection process. Please go ahead with your questions. So there's one question: as a mechanical engineer, which internship is good for me? So in case you're in your final year of mechanical engineering, one of our clients, Creative Organics, has a technical project manager role, where in the factory, you're required to run the projects of the company. I mean, there are some innovation oriented projects they have where they're trying to bring new processes which don't exist in the Indian pharma industry. So you'll have to learn those new processes and help the people in the factory implement those processes to manage the entire product life cycle, right? So if you're a mechanical engineer, this technical project management, I think, is a very interesting opportunity for you. But in case you're interested in the tech field, even though you're a mechanical engineer, if you're interested in the tech field, the product management or full stack software development or data science or growth hacking, I think these roles are pretty open to you if you're willing to learn that. Yeah, those who have questions, please unmute and ask your questions. Yeah, Mr. Murli.
So I have one doubt for the project management, whether what's the basic skills that they need, whether like mechanical, civil, electrical, that the core area students, whether
Mechanical and chemical engineering students can apply. I mean, anybody who's into mechanical engineering or somebody who has a chemistry background can apply. But this opportunity, Mr. Murli, is in Hyderabad. They'll have to do the internship, and after the internship, the full-time job will also be in Hyderabad. All the other
internship will be physical, right?
Yes, internship will be physical, job will also be physical, only for the project management. But the other growth hacking, product management, software development are all remote, and it's open to anyone.
So for product management and all, whether basic coding skill and all is required, or whether a mechanical, civil, electrical students can?
So
not required.
Not required. So if they're taking the 15-day training, even those who do not have coding skills, if they want to apply, mechanical engineering students, they can apply to us. We'll give them the training if they're interested in exploring software. We are looking for people who have that curiosity and that genuine drive to learn. We're not looking at skill set, we're looking at mindset. It may be a longer training process, but we are happy to take up people who do not have coding skills as well. But as far as product management is concerned, Mr. Murli, the role itself doesn't require coding skills.
Okay.
At the end of the internship, will be recognized by clients or DT or both? Yes, you'll be recognized by both DT and the client. EEE students, again, as I mentioned, you can apply for software or product management or data science or growth hacking, any of the 4 roles. But maybe because you're not used to, if you're applying for software development because you're not used to coding, the learning journey might be longer. Before you're offered an internship. But we basically are domain agnostic. I have people from psychology background who do product management with us. I mean, at Deep Thought, when I hire for my company, I look for people mainly from psychology background, and they do product management. So usually they have no clue of tech, and maths is something they're scared of, right? Like Saurav himself is a psychology student. He's one of our product managers. So yeah, he did his undergrad in social sciences, right, Saurav? Yeah, undergrad in social sciences, and now he's doing his master's in psychology. He's a product manager with us, product management and growth hacking. Requirements of software development. In case you guys already know HTML, CSS for front end, or if you know JavaScript, that's good. But if you do not know, but if you're able to demonstrate that learning attitude, we're willing to give you, good 1 month of training, after which you'll get your internship, and there'll be no training charges. So if you're able to demonstrate that learning attitude, we'll hire you, give you a longer training period, and after the longer training period, you can start your internship. Only thing is, before we give you training, you'll get into an agreement with the company that you will complete the 6 months internship. That's it. If you're going into designing path, do we need a portfolio? Not required. As I mentioned, if you're able to demonstrate that learning attitude with us, we're definitely willing to, give you guys the opportunity to learn and build yourself. And you guys might have that question, why are you saying learning attitude is enough? That is the rarest thing in India, no? That's why we're going to so many colleges all over India. Skill we get easily, but learning attitude is something we don't get. Because you may have the skill today, but will you be able to grow? Unless there's learning attitude, the person doesn't grow within the company. So that's why what we primarily look for is learning attitude. Okay. We have 4 more minutes into the call. Please ask your questions. 4 more minutes left. Please ask your questions.
What will be the basic requirement for data science?
Data science, I think apart from learning attitude, we would look for strong mathematics fundamentals. When I say strong mathematics fundamentals, up to 10th grade, if they're doing well with mathematics, if they have conceptual clarity of all concepts till 10th grade in mathematics, that's good enough. The reason why I said up to 10th grade is 11th and 12th, even if they don't know, that's okay. But if they have that basic mathematical thinking, they can be taught anything new. But if they're scared of mathematics, I think it's going to take a lot more time before we can get them ready for data science. So up to 10th grade mathematics, I think if they have a good conceptual clarity, that's good enough for data science. So what is growth hacking? Growth hacking, as I mentioned, is a kind of technology plus marketing where you help companies in getting more customers, right? You analyze the behaviors of customers and you set up very intelligent campaigns to help the company get customers a lot faster. It's a combination of marketing and technology. Do you have any advice other than learning attitude? So Advait, if you ask me for advice, I'll just tell you 2 points. One is, are you reading Harvard Business Review and some of these, nice magazines, right? So if you're able to read this content on a regular basis, I think that'll give you very good exposure. Reading about the larger economy, to understand what's happening in the economy, how different companies are innovating, what are the new trends which are coming in, I think is important. That's one thing I would say. And the second thing is, I think on YouTube, you'll find great thought leaders content. Stanford Graduate Business School has interviewed a lot of CEOs. You get very good content there. So watching these kind of content, and Brian Maggie, a philosopher, has done a series of interviews for, I think, BBC. So that's again excellent content. So being able to check out good content in terms of digital magazines or YouTube channels, I think is something which I'll strongly recommend. So you understand various thought leaders' thought process. So that's something I think I'll advise. Contract period. Once your internship starts, your training period is anywhere between 15 days to 1 month. So once this training period is done, the internship contract period is 6 months. Is there any specific criteria in each field? No, Fatima, but yes, in data science, we look for people with a good mathematics foundation, right? Up to 10th grade, understanding maths concepts in a good way, I think is something we look for in data science. For growth hacking, we look for those people who are interested in studying behaviors, who are interested in marketing and so on. So we look for people who are interested in marketing for growth hacking. In product management, we look for people who problem solvers. And so on. And when it comes to full stack software development, we look for people who are very interested in, coding, who are interested in creating new technology and so on. Non-coder with good maths. Yeah, non-coder with what type of demonstration for software development? So Nitin, I mean, see, if you are able to demonstrate a learning attitude with our 1 month training period, I think you should be able to start off as a software developer, right? If you're able to demonstrate that learning attitude. But you want to come in with that 15-day training period, then I think we'll be looking for HTML, CSS for front end, and we'll be looking for JavaScript for back end. Good knowledge of JavaScript for back end. Self-learning. No, Fatima, we're looking at self-learning, and besides self-learning, we're also looking at people's ability to engage in what we call collaborative and social learning, right? Because when you build products, you work in a team. Because you work in a team, your ability to listen to other people, to discuss, to build on threads, to collaborate with other people is extremely important. So self-learning and social learning, both are extremely important. One last question, if anybody has a question. One last question, we're already past our time. One last question. Anybody who has a question, you can unmute yourself, ask a question.
So can data science help in growth hacking? Because data science, actually we are collecting data and that will be used for marketing and all. So is it related?
Absolutely, Mr. Murli, but it may not be as rigorous as it is in data science. In growth hacking, we are more involved in the, how we set up the campaigns and how we make it easier for the users to complete the process and getting the users on board. Definitely in growth hacking as well, we bring in a lot of data, we analyze the data, and we use the data to fine tune our campaigns. But in data science, I think the way how deep you go into the data, that's I think a little more rigorous. But definitely data is used in a big way in growth hacking as well. Can you mention good free materials like Professor Patrick Winston's course? Okay. So Zohil, what we'll do is, since we have so Zohil, my colleague Sandhya will send you a link for Deep Thoughts WhatsApp learning community. My colleague Sandhya will send you the link for Deep Thoughts WhatsApp learning community. You can be a part of a learning community. We'll make a list of book reviews and free materials list and send it to you through the WhatsApp learning community, and I think you can pick that up from there, right? So we have got a Deep Thought WhatsApp learning community. You can stay connected with us through this WhatsApp learning community. Is there any opportunity for a person with good math? You're good at math, you like marketing, growth hacking is open for you. You're good at math, data science is open for you. You're good at math, probably you'll be a good coder. You're good at math, probably some aspects of product management you'll be able to do well. There are a lot of things which are open for you if you're good at math. I mean, we're getting, we as humans are getting into a mathematical future, Mathematics is going to be the new superpower going forward in the next 10, 20 years. And not that it was not, but it's going to be a bigger superpower. Yeah, I think all the 4 roles open up to you if you're good with math, and data science might be something which you might be more interested in if you're good at math. Full stack development, Abhinav, as I mentioned, even if you do not have coding skill, but you are able to demonstrate that learning attitude, you may have a longer training period, but we are willing to pick you up. You may have a longer training period, but we are able to pick you up. Okay, that's it. So that's it from today's session. So as I mentioned, there are 2 selection processes. The easier selection process link will be sent by Sandhya on Tuesday. You want to take the tougher selection process, you're already in the group. In the group already the instructions are sent out. Just go ahead, complete the assignments. That's the tougher selection process. Easier selection process, Sandhya will send you the link on Tuesday. Thanks a lot everyone for joining in. Thanks a lot Mr. Murli for facilitating this session. All of you have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.